Australia's mail delivery system is in a state of change. We've talked about that before. So is the parcel delivery system, with a couple of international operators buying into this country. There's a toll holdings only last week. Australia Post is releasing figures today that shows it's on track to post its first full year loss in 30 years. The Chief Executive, Ahmed Fahour, has told me in the past there needs to be an urgent change to regulation to keep the business going. He's in the studio with me. Ahmed Fahour, good morning.
Neil, good morning to you.
First full year loss in 30 years. Why?
Well, the reality was that Australia Post was corporatised back in 1989, and back then, who would have thought something called the internet would dominate everything just about. And so the world has changed a lot.
And 56% down on this time last year. Same reason?
Yep. We said on this show here that we predicted mail volume is going to decline at a pretty rapid rate. We said between 8 and 11%. And compared to the 3 to 4% that we were experiencing, well, it fell by 8.2%, which in of itself is a record decline in mail volume.
What about the Christmas mail? Because normally I assume that's a very busy time. How did that go?
Well, 97% of all letters sent is sent by corporations and governments to us as citizens. So the remaining 3% is made up of you and I sending mail, of which roughly about a third of that is Christmas mail. Christmas mail, letters in the letterbox, is down significantly and is averaging about a 20% decline.
Okay, where do you go from here? You talked to me last time about the need for government change. Have you got it yet?
I think we're getting a very good reception. Our shareholder understands very clearly that unless we get regulatory change, they've got to make a decision. That decision is they either fund the next 10 years of losses, which could amount to $6 billion, or we're out of business.
They won't do that. They can't do that.
I don't believe they should do that. We've never taken $1 of government subsidy. We've paid dividends. We can keep this business going for a long time to come. They just need to give us the permissions to change the regulations to allow us to continue to service all of Australia.
But this is a matter of some urgency now, isn't it?
We're at a crisis point.
So what is the government doing? I mean, we've been talking about it for 6 months. When are they going to do something?
From all accounts, they are assessing the situation, and I believe they will make the right decision.
When is that decision due? Do you know, or is there no deadline on it?
Well, there's no deadline as such. The government's in charge of the regulation, and they will make the decision on a time that they believe is right. We've said that we need a decision this financial year, and right now we're in February, and the clock is ticking.
And if you don't get that decision this financial year, are we locked into that $6 billion subsidy?
There's no choice, but either we get a massive injection from the government to keep the business going, or they give us the permission to manage the business, and therefore no subsidy is required and the business can continue.
Well, what's the most basic decision they've got to make? What have they got to do? What do you need to change? What do you need to change?
Very simple terms. In very simple terms, what we just want to do is we offer business customers, which is 97% of the volume, we offer them two speeds. We offer them a fast speed and a slower speed of mail delivery with two different prices. We want to be able to offer ordinary customers, consumers, these two products.
And if you do that, does that increase the mail volume?
If you do that, does that increase the mail volume? It doesn't increase the mail volume. As a matter of fact, mail volume is projected to continue to decline at that pace. But what it does is it allows us to manage our cost structure in such a way that we can then offer the service that matches the price that people are prepared to pay.
I mean, as always, we get complaints about the mail, and I know there's a lot of letters about the parcels going around out there. and parcels going around out there, and they don't all get
but
there
is
at the time you want
the
them
service
to.
maintaining a standard, or has it dropped off?
Maintaining a standard, or has it dropped off?
Can I be absolutely unequivocal about this? We are independently and audited by the government, and we audit ourselves. We have a service standard. And in the past decade, and certainly in the last 5 years, we have never missed our service standard. We have a minimum of 94% service standard to meet, and we have never missed our minimum service standard. Now, the reality is from time to time, something goes astray. Something is not right. Not always our fault. But nevertheless, an error occurs, and when it does, we're humbly very, very sorry that it does happen.
More likely than not,
but more likely than not, 99.8% of the mail is delivered by the next day. So we are very good at what we do. We want to continue doing that for the community. But do we make mistakes? Yes, we do, and we're deeply sorry when we occasionally do.